of power. Boris Johnson के साथ इसकी talks थी. He had to cancel those talks to be here with you guys. So can you all put your hands together? Come on, put your hands together. Stomp your feet. Talia, round of applause for President Obonjo.
Bossy, bossy, Godfather, man I'm OG, man I'm half humble, man I'm bossy. Fling a rag a rhythm like a soul freak. Bossy, house on the coast G. My money so long it doesn't know me. It's looking at my kids like a bossy.
Hey yo, Idris, tell them what they're gonna take the piss. When it's the beast, I go do that kind of
Good evening, Harrow. I'm not feeling it. Good evening, Harrow. I can't believe I have come here to address you and you are all sitting down. Unless you have an illness, can I ask you all to stand up? It's part of my act. Every single one of you stand up. Stand up! Every single one of you stand up. Unless you have a fucking illness, stand up. Maybe you have diabetes, I don't care. Repeat after me. Dear leader, we love you. We adore you. We will do anything for you. Anything for you. Please sit down. I am an African. I don't need a microphone. My name is President Obonjo of South Republic. I am a self-proclaimed leader, an African dictator, now living in St. Albans in Hertfordshire. Anyone who does not laugh at my jokes, apart from my new wife, will get shot. There's a reason why the English were able to steal land from primitive people back in the days. It was because of a law called terra nullius. Terra nullius means land that belongs to no one. And I have been using that same law to claim land across the United Kingdom. 10 years ago, when I moved to St. Albans in Hertfordshire, I met a homeless man outside Tesco. He told me he was the leader of St. Albans. I bought him 3 cans of special brew, and he gave me St. Albans. St. Albans is not my property. The United Kingdom is not my property. I intend to unite the 3 savage tribes, the Welsh, the Cockneys, and the Cockneys. If you don't get my jokes, blame the British educational system. I used to be one of the funniest dictators in the world, and all of a sudden, since the 20th of January 2017, Donald Trump has been trying to take my throne. I actually believe that Donald Trump is an African dictator. Let me tell you why. During the elections, he said the elections were being rigged. That is what African dictators say during an election. Number 2, he said he was going to put his opponent in jail. That is what African dictators do. And number 3, he has appointed his family members into the American government. Tell me if that isn't African or not. I promise not to talk about being black, even though I've been black for 51 years, I'm now 56. I am married to an English wife. I married her for passport rather than for love. We have 3 lovely children. I gave them English names. James Alexandra Obonjo, 18. Margaret Alexandra Obonjo, 12. And Cassandra Alexandra Obonjo, 6. We had sex every 6 years based on the government child benefit policy. I used to live in Stratford, now they call it Westfield. When I moved to St. Albans 10 years ago, I thought I was going to suffer racism from white people. I don't actually suffer racism from white people. I suffer racism from black people who haven't seen black people for a while. This is nice. Lots of young people here. Let me start. Let me address the elephant in the room. Yeah? My late father, Idi Amin Dada of Uganda. I know what he did to Asians and lots of Indians. So I want to apologize right now on his behalf. Thank you very much. I've come from St. Albans in Hertfordshire. I love the train journey from King's Cross to St. Albans because everybody thinks I'm getting off at Luton. On a Friday night, English people are always drunk. They're not here tonight. They can never contain their alcohol. And I'm the sort of comedian who enjoys pranking English people. there was this man who was sleeping on the train from King's Cross to St. Albans. You could tell he was middle class. He was drunk. I told the commuters I was going to prank him. They said, don't do that, he might have a heart attack. I touched him, he woke up. I said, welcome to Nigeria. I come from a country called South Republic. It's very close to Wakanda. If you do not know where Wakanda is, I'm sorry, you're racist. South Republic consists of 3 tribes. The Okorodudu tribe, which means goodness, the Kamutu tribe, which means gracious, and the Kaputu tribe, which means great balls of fire. And I come from the great balls of fire tribe. I am originally from Nigeria. Any Nigerians in the house? Don't answer that. I know they're not here. You are from Nigeria? Seriously? Then there's something wrong with climate change. When I tell people I'm from Nigeria, they look at me suspiciously, fraudulently. Let me start by telling you, I am not a parking attendant, but I've got the skills. I'm not a toilet attendant selling you money for punani splash for dash, but I have got the skills. And I'm not the one who sent you that email asking for your bank account details. But I have got the skills. Don't get my jokes. Blame the British education system. I'm married to a beautiful English wife. Like I said, I married her for passport. We've been married for 20 years. Let me tell you, when I proposed to her 20 years ago, I was joking. I didn't really mean it. 20 years down the line, the joke has run out. We have 3 lovely children. Joke 1, joke 2, joke 3. I do a little bit of political comedy. So I want to address what is happening in the United Kingdom right now. Let me tell you, I don't know how many of you voted Brexit, but let me tell you, I think you have done the right thing. Congratulations to all of you, especially the conservatives who might have voted Brexit. But let me tell you what is going to happen to Britain in 5 years' time. In 5 years' time, there's going to be a Live Aid concert. That Live Aid concert will be in Harrow. African celebrities will be asked to come and perform because we want to raise funds for middle-class children who haven't eaten hummus and avocados for a long time. I want to talk about the royal family. I want to talk about Meghan and Harry. I don't know about you, but I was really, really disappointed. Very, very disappointed that Meghan has now left. You see, some people think that the royal family doesn't like black people. I have met the royal family. It's not that they don't like black people. They just don't like ginger people. Don't get my jokes. Blame the British education system. I have a dream! Not a wet dream. Are you using your phone while I am performing? You are using your phone while I am performing. You are in a comedy night and who are you talking to? Give me that phone. Who are you talking to? Give me that phone. Who are you talking to? I want to know who you are talking to. Tell everybody who you are talking to. Who are you texting? Boyfriend, girlfriend? Who? Girlfriend. Really? You have a girlfriend? 2020? Yeah, I will join you too. I want to talk to you about my sex life. I don't know whether you Asians do sex, but I want to talk to you. I know you sleep with your brothers and sisters, but yeah. But I want to talk to you about my sex life. But I'm also looking that there are some younger people here. How old are you? 11. Oh dear. I am still going to do my jokes. So you will close your ears. You see, when I met my wife 20 years ago, we made love everywhere. In the living room. It is obvious she makes love in the living room. We made love everywhere. In the living room, in the bathroom, in the kitchen, in the toilet area, in the dogging area. We made love everywhere. But over the last 6 months, my wife and I have stopped having regular sex. You see, it is obvious that you don't have sex in Britain, especially in Harrow. When I went to Kent and I told them I stopped having sex, they all said, "Ah, you are just looking at me as if you don't know what sex is." You're married, aren't you? You're not. You better stay married. And I'm talking to you about my sex life. And my wife and I have stopped having regular sex. How many people are married here tonight? Raise your hands. They never look happy. Bloody miserable all the time. And I don't know how many of you still have regular sex, but my wife caught me in the living room self-helping. And I don't know how many of you self-help. It is none of my business. But when my wife caught me in the living room self-helping, she asked me whether I think of her. I don't normally think of my wife when I'm self-helping. I think of the woman I've met at a comedy show. And I don't know how many of you still do that on a regular basis. Sir, do you self-help? Tell the whole world, do you self-help? Do you think of her when you self-help? You don't. I don't even need to look at you, sir, or ask you. You look like the sort of person who self-helps on a regular basis. Now, the joke has worked tonight. But when I went to Kent last night, and I asked them whether there was self-help and there was a man and woman, the man said, "That's my wife." I asked the wife, and said, "That's my son." I am going to end my set with some audience interaction. You, sir, get up. Get up! Because out of 350 people, you're the only one who hasn't really laughed in this room. I have a question for you. You don't know what the question is, but you should repeat the question, and you should repeat the question in an African accent. If you go out there and you sound African, they will lynch you. Are you ready? Yeah. Mr. President!
Mr. President,
Is it true or false, Mr. President,
is it true or false, Mr. President,
that you have 14 wives?
that you have 14 wives?
And that you pleasure at least 2 of them per night?
Sorry, what was that again?
Give him a round of applause. You know, they only allowed me 15 minutes. Someone should have said, the comedy promoter, that there's always African time. You have been a fantastic and wonderful audience. If you have enjoyed my performance, tweet about it. If you haven't enjoyed my performance, nobody needs to know. Thank you.
Guys, round of applause for President Abonjo.